Hello and welcome to the Living Life Discourses on the Greatest Call channel, the global voice for expanding consciousness. Have always built something, and even at my age have worked for very, very few companies as an employee, if ever. But a chance came for me to study the corporate structure of known companies, and for the sake of legalities, we shall mention no names. And my conclusion, our conclusion from the United States corporate structures, and that is not different from the rest of the world, is that humanity by large have lost their consciousness to the dollar. And the only difference between automatons or mindless robots and us is that we bleed and nothing else. Sadly, unfortunately. Why has humanity given their powers, their essence, their uniqueness, and highest level of consciousness we have ever seen to artificially created economy, i.e. dollar bills? And the worst part is, even though a good part of us see this, we know this, we keep on ignoring and working like robots, and we keep on doing so till we retire and expire. Sadly, most have sold their unique consciousness for homes we barely live in until our retirement. And for others, because of not wanting the equity, so-called equity, in the home or in our home to sag, we barely touch the floor with our shoes or allow visitors to do so. We barely use anything in these homes for over 25 years till the mortgage is finally fully paid. And we continue to glean the best knowledge and narratives for the singular purpose of expanding your consciousness and that of mine. Mutual rivalry for piling up worldly things diverts you until you visit the graves, i.e. till we die. Nay, you shall come to know. Again, nay, you shall come to know. Nay, if you knew with certain knowledge, i.e. the end results of piling up, you would not have occupied yourself in worldly things. Verily, you shall see the blazing fire, and again you shall see it with certainty of sight. Then on the day you shall be asked about the delight which you indulge in this world. So goes the good old book. Why has the yoke or burden been so fastened on our necks that we cannot see anything but the next green bill to buy something that either live or we shall live eventually, to impress people who do not matter? Because in the end, the only reason why the world ceases to exist after we live is that, in essence or essentially, you are the only one here. We are the only people here. When your world ends, the world altogether ends. None of us who listens to this channel should ever just listen and do nothing. We should never allow anything outside us to dictate and manipulate our consciousness, no matter what. And we shall get many people objecting to this. It's okay. Allow everyone to opine and whine about anything. The mere reason for opining or whining is because they care enough to express emotions. And that is a good sign. It is the beginning of either an understanding or a global change. You see, the last time we were at a train station at 3:30 a.m. in the morning in bigger cities, you all would have marveled, if it was your first time, about how people live their short lives on this planet. Unfortunately. And the worst is, until we ourselves have deduced reasons to willingly do something, we normally do not do it. Again, until we deduce good reasons to willingly do something, we normally do not approach them. Even things that eventually we get to know are not great, we deduce reasons to justify them. So in this case, what are our reasons? I have to pay the mortgage, I have to pay the rent, car payment, ad infinitum, bills. Let us all critically analyze this, folks. Someone somewhere called the government, elected or put into those positions of power or leadership by me and you, by us, supposedly create figures on a paper. People like material, or worse of it, numbers on a computer put on a card, debit or credit, and they say money or fiat currency used to buy materials, pay contractors to get me a place to live, and after signing all those documents, tell you and me, if you wake up earlier enough, come work for me and my cronies, we shall give you enough to make payment onto the building we just signed, and in 25 years you shall own it. And that building, even with all the toil after retirement, you shall start losing the building again by paying property taxes. So a house that costs, say, $1 million loses chip by property taxes, the laws of which same people we elected, drafted, enacted, and oversee to be enforced. Oh, what a world. What a world. You see, the evidence of this is so glaring but so difficult to be noticed by many a people that we essentially do not own anything, that anything shall either leave us here or we shall leave them. Why then do we direct our consciousness aspect of life to things unwanted, to horrible working conditions, paying for things we shall never own? Why? We shall continue to glean the best knowledge and narratives from all the sages, saints, scientists, prophets, and poets for the singular purpose of rising up from our slumber, expanding your consciousness, my consciousness, rising up from the mundane, chained and manacled life of which a good population of the planet is saddled with. All this, for us to be able to do so, entails leaving all fear out of our lives. See, your consciousness, folks, my consciousness, though a speck, a drop out of the ocean or in the ocean, its essence is no different from the sea itself. If we can root out all fear from our lives and direct all our consciousness to things we want to enjoy and share to others, we can promise you all nothing untoward shall happen to us. Want to be a poet, but everyone is saying you cannot eke out a decent living from it. Why? Because they've seen others struggle. Give no thought to them. The power in you, folks, the power in me, the power in us is new. It's new. No one had ever been like you. No one had ever would ever be like us. Else we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be alive. You would not be alive. Let us blaze a new trail. Go out there and give out your whole life and heart to the poetry which you have always wanted to flow out of you, out of your heart. Pour out what the ultimate consciousness wants to expand through you. And if it doesn't give you any good living expenses, it shall definitely give you the best in life. And what is that? It shall give you the best living experiences. So many people are shackled in the mirage of good living desperately their short lives for things they can't own. Let us all ask ourselves, is this worth what we came to experience and do on the planet? TGIF, thank God it's Friday. Why? Because we never like what we do. For those who are happily doing what they love, there is no TGIF. For them, it is thank God I am alive. It's not thank God it's Friday. No, thank God I'm alive. Every day is a blessed day for them. They wake up from bed with so much happiness, with so much inspiration, with so much energy to go out there and do what they love to do. That is what we came to do. That is what you came here to experience. Once again, fear, especially unfounded fear, only perceived, has been the cause of most people not living or fully expressing their consciousness. The fear of not making enough green bills, enough dollars to pay bills, the fear of not buying nice things which they barely use, the fear of not living in a nicer and bigger homes ad infinitum. Ad infinitum. Fear, fear, fear. Then we get ourselves saddled in a routine that makes us only 1 degree different from mindless, heartless, soulless automatons or robots. Go into corporations, if you are not in one, and see people walking mindlessly, driving to clock in and clock out, doing things they hate only to superficially use things they shall never own or have. Because even in the end, no one lives here with their so-called possessions. It is all experiences. So why don't you buy the most important experience? Humanity, rise up. We have long tarried in the stalemate of fear. The evolution of our consciousness have long tarried in fear, and not until we root out all of that, we would not ascend to our highest powers and our evolution becoming more purposeful, blissful, and the ultimate goal of gratitude being executed effortlessly and organically shall be foiled. Not until we root out all fear. Our evolution and our expansion shall not be completed. We shall not see that. Never decide your line of work first because of the money, prestige, or status. You already have this in your consciousness, else nothing could have given it to you. Nothing. It is not outside you. It is all within you. However, choose what you want to do. If it is money you want, there are millionaires and billionaires in every field. As long as you love what you're doing, you may be having inexplicably joy, and even though you may not be a millionaire or billionaire, you would care less, and your purpose shall be well fulfilled. You, me, shall expel from this plane. We shall leave this plane beautifully, happily, with more bliss and less regrets. No one can ever have anything outside themselves. No one. It's all within you. It is only a mirage that we think acquiring things outside us can make us more happier and more accomplished. More accomplished, and to receive more respect and prestige from others, even though all these are within. With prayer, meditation, and deep introspection, let us root out all this mirage from our lives and consciousness and live authentically. Authentically. You, me, we cannot explain blissfully living like automatons for corporations. And don't get me wrong, if you do like what you're doing for your company, then it shall shine through you. Your walk, your smile, your limbs, every part of you shall be vibrating thus, and people shall know and see without you communicating in words. Not everyone hate their job that they do at their companies. Not everyone, but most people do. They don't like it. However, the system, they have deduced reasons to do so. Most people on the planet hate what they do for corporations, but are only in thus because of self-created, superficial reasons. Again, no one can ever expound along their lines of individuality that ultimate consciousness brought them to if they do not like what they do. Life is the greatest gift, and the greatest aberration in life is doing what you, me, what we hate. The question again is, are we ready to have many regrets on our deathbed? The leaders, movers and shakers of the world, people who we ourselves have sold our powers to out of avarice, keep their position by keeping each of us down, and one way they do so is to make the system in such a way that a good portion of us fear not paying bills, and many others do things they do not like, nay, do things we hate. Sell not your consciousness, folks. It is priceless. My consciousness, your consciousness, our consciousness is priceless. Let us sell it not. And once again, this was the Living Life Discourses on the Greatest Call channel. And let us all remember, nothing is worth doing unhappily. Again, nothing is worth doing unhappily. Nothing. In the end, everything leaves, or we leave everything. Only experiences remain. Let us not look for the best living experiences, but the greatest living experiences. Again, let us not look for the best living experiences, but the greatest living experiences. What would be my experience and what will be yours? What are we living this plane with? Unhappily working for things we couldn't keep? No. God bless you, your family, and the planet. We shall meet again. We shall see you all very soon.